But why don't we start off today with Blackpink, "Kill This Love," their second EP. Um, Jisoo, Jenny, is it Rose or Rose and Lisa?
Not sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Rose because it
I'm gonna
sounds
say
better.
sounds a lot better. Yeah, the all-female K-pop group. Kind of, we did a breakout when BTS dropped their most recent album back a couple months ago about K-pop, and we talked about Blackpink as one of the bands that was kind of like a manufactured band from the studios out there to try to create these hip hop or these pop groups that can gain some traction here in the United States. And Blackpink is one of the ones that's been pretty successful so far. If you want to listen to that video, you can check that out somewhere on our YouTube page. Search Nowstalgia K-pop. This EP, "Kill This Love," man, I had some mixed feelings on this. On the one hand, I think that there's some really catchy and some really fun parts of it. And on the other hand, I felt myself feeling like, man, this is like the most generic Zed, Tiesto, Calvin Harris album with some really, really good sounding Korean pop singers over this. What did you think of "Kill This Love" by Blackpink?
Yeah, so for me, I ran back their Blackpink in Your Area album that came out in December 1st before I went to this EP. And that album really just captures all these other EPs and singles they had put out over the past year and a half or so.
Yep.
And I really liked that album. It was only 30 minutes long. I thought there was a lot of cool singles on there and a lot of catchy songs. And then going into "Kill This Love," which is half as long, and one of the songs is a remix, I was also not as enthused just because I was like, I just listened to all these bangers from that album, and now this one. I mean, I heard them so literally back to back. I don't know if I can really speak to how much growth there was. It kind of blends together, but yeah, I apart from the title track, not much of it stood out to me. But when I'm looking at them as a whole, I still think there's a lot to like and see for future success. But yeah, I was a little underwhelmed.
Yeah, I actually was listening to their Arena Tour 2018 album that was on Spotify a little bit, just to kind of get a sense. They do some really great covers of songs. Actually, one of them was a Christmas song that they were covering. I think it was Last Christmas or something like that, which I was like, I'm listening to a Christmas song covered by K-pop people on April 8th. So it was a weird moment for me during my days in general, but there is a lot more to them, especially hearing them live was pretty cool. And I feel like this album was almost like veering too much into American pop, trying to be the most generic of generic American pop rather than adding, really their own twist outside of speaking a foreign language on it. I mean, literally listening to the first song on here, which is, I believe, the title track. Yeah, "Kill This Love," which they actually released a music video for and has, I think, last time I checked, over 130 million views today, which is crazy. So they just dropped it, I think, last week.
It's the fastest music video to 100 million views in YouTube history, under 3 days. And it was the most watched in 24 hours, 56.7 million, which beat Thank You Next. So the Blinks, their stans, their fan army are definitely powerful if they can set all these brand new streaming records for a group that is only just really getting big in the West,
Yeah. But listening to that song, I was like, man, I feel like that I would hear this on a side stage at Izu on a Saturday afternoon. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I was just not what I expected to hear from this group. And I think this just kind of speaks to them trying to find what's going to break them through here in American pop.
Yep.
I did think the one song that stood out to me was "Kick It," which I just something about it stood out. I think they went a little bit more toned down on that song, which I liked, stripping it back a bit. But otherwise, yeah, I don't think there's too much notable here. But I think this is leading up to album release sometime soon, I have to imagine.
Yeah, that's what the talk is. And I'm, again, because that first album in December was just a collection of previously released songs. So to hear something that's a full-length album from them is probably really exciting for a lot of their fans. But, "Kill This Love," again, getting all this, setting all these YouTube records. I mean, it's a pretty big bombastic song. A lot of their videos are like that too, really bouncy. But I think you're right. I mean, trying to grasp Western audiences and try and catch on, to be more mainstream. Sounds like it's what they're doing, because I mean they mix Korean and Japanese. There's a fair amount of English even on their older songs already.
Mm,
But I mean, there's some clear hip hop influence, especially from
definitely.
there's some corny hip hop flows on some of their songs, which is where that's coming from. But considering Do 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 Do, which the remix is on this EP, that original song from like a year ago, that's the most watched K-pop video ever. It's like 747 million views. It's better than anything BTS has ever done in terms
Crazy.
of views. That song, like, it's a pretty like bad hook. That's the title, obviously. You heard the remix. So I think Kill This Love's like a step up in that regard in terms of making these like
Hmm.
big like poppy singles. But there's still a lot of room to grow, and we'll see, because YG Entertainment, they're like man their label. There's been some hot water recently with some controversy with taxes, and also one of their artists they had dropped one of their artists for recording sexual acts without permission. Obviously, bad stuff going on. So, but it seems like YG is pushing Blackpink as their like premier act. So I'm curious to see, like BTS, just how big K-pop can really get here in the West in terms of like mainstream Billboard Hot 100 music. So we'll be seeing after that album's coming soon.